Second.
We have a motion and a second to leave non-public. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries.
And I also make a motion to seal the minutes indefinitely, as they are likely to adversely affect the reputation of any person other than a member of the public body.
Second.
Motion and a second to seal the minutes indefinitely. I'll do a roll call on that. Council Webb?
Yes.
Council Spencer?
Yes.
Council Chase?
Yes.
Council Mojay?
Yes.
Council McEachern?
Yes.
And chair votes yes, motion carries 6-0. We still haven't done the one there. If we can all stand for the pledge. Council Spencer?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. For those new here, in the event of emergency, there's an exit in the back of the room. Chief Yoli, we're glad to help you in an event of emergency, or Clint in the front row, glad to help you. If you have cell phones, please silence them. And we'll do a roll call. Councilor Webb.
Good evening.
Councilor Spencer.
Good evening.
Councilor Chase.
Good evening.
Councilor Mojay.
Good evening.
Councilor McEachern.
Hello.
Good evening from the chair, and Mr. Fowler, Town Administrator, and Madam Town Clerk. Good evening. Public forum.
Make a motion to open public forum.
Second.
We have a motion to open public forum and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, public forum is now open. If you wish to speak, come up, state your name and address for the record.
Anybody online, Owen?
Seeing none, rise online, Mr. Chair.
And seeing no one here jumping to the forefront, I will make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to close public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Public forum is now closed. Consent agenda 25-93, approved minutes from September 16th, 2025. Consent agenda item 25-94, accept resignation Town Council Dave Granessi. Item number 25-95, ordinance 2025-005 to amend chapter 150-10A of the Town Code. There'll be a public hearing on that matter for October 21st. We have item number 25-96, resolution 2025-052 to authorize the town to apply, receive, and expend a grant from the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services for lead and copper water service assessments. There'll be a public hearing on that matter as well, October 21st. We have agenda item 2597, resolution 2025-053 to authorize the acquisition of 2 easements associated with the Southern New Hampshire Regional Water Project. There will be 2 public hearings for that on October 21st, 2025, and November 4th, 2025. We will take a vote on that matter November 18th. Agenda item 25-98, resolution 2025-054 to adopt construction assessment fees, Ranch Shepherd Water Extension. There'll be a public hearing on that October 21st, 2025.
Move to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion to accept and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, they all pass 6-0. Chair's report. First order of business. We have an appointment to the Derry Town Council at large vacancy pursuant to Town Charter Section 5.7. As you all know, we had some applications put in. We did have a non-public. So having said that, I move to appoint David Mills to the Derry Town Council as Councilor at Large for a term to expire March 10th, 2026.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I just want to give a little context on kind of my feeling why I'm in agreement for Mr. Mills joining us. I think all of the candidates had some experience that brought them, that they would bring something good to the council. At the end of the day, this is a 5-month term, is it? That it's a very short term and there's not going to be a learning curve. It's a hit the ground running type of situation. And Mr. Mills was the only one of our applicants who's actually sat here and done this job already. So I felt for that short term that was definitely the strongest candidate.
I just want to reiterate and support Councilor Spencer's comments.
Anyone else? Anything to say? Nope. All right, we'll take a roll call on that. Counselor Webb.
Yes.
Counselor Spencer.
Yes.
Counselor Chase.
Yes.
Counselor Mojay.
Yes.
Counselor McEachran.
Yes.
And chair votes yes, motion carries 6-0. Mr. Mills in the audience, would you like to come up for 10 seconds and introduce yourself to the general public? So for those at home and out in the audience, Mr. Mills will not be sitting in tonight. He will have 10 days to get sworn in, and then he'll be sitting at the next meeting, provided he gets sworn in, and he'll be present for the October 21st meeting. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you. I'm David Mills, 12 Bonnie Lane in Derry. I'd like to thank the council for their confidence in me, and all I can do is promise that I will try to do my very best for the next 5 months. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We have an appointment to Derry Public Library Trustees. I move to appoint Jessica Restucci as a member of the Derry Public Library Board of Trustees for a term to expire March 10th, 2026.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second. Counselor Webb.
Yes.
Counselor Spencer.
Yes.
Counselor Chase.
Yes.
Counselor Mojay.
Yes.
Counselor McEachran.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion carries 6-0. Appointment to the Derry Housing Authority. I move to appoint Jennifer Thompson as a tenant member of the Derry Housing and Redevelopment Authority for a term to expire March 31st, 2029.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Counselor Webb.
Yes.
Counselor Spencer.
Yes.
Counselor Chase.
Yes.
Counselor Mojay.
Yes.
Counselor McEachran.
Yes.
The chair votes yes, motion carries. And for those who don't know, she is the new Salvation Army representative here in Derry. The two majors have left, and Major Thornton had to resign.
Can I just point of order before we move on? Well, the reason I was kind of delayed, I know you're waiting for my second. This just said tenant member. She's not
Yeah, I just
actually
saw
a
that.
tenant, right? I just want to clarify for the record, she's not the tenant member, but
So if everyone's okay, we can strike that as a member. Madam Clerk, you good with that? Everyone in agreement to that? Going to strike the tenant? All right. Oh, yeah, on the,
Oh, on the...
yeah, it was a misprint, yeah, it's a misprint.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking at my side.
All right, moving along. Mr. Fowler.
All right, good evening. And while I'm going through the town administrator report, could you bring up there's a PowerPoint for CART, so I'll go through my part first. I think it was up on the
Actually,
left.
1 second.
Sure. Yep.
Did you have anything?
Oh, we could
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yep, go for it.
backtrack a little bit.
Yep.
My apologies.
Oh, sure.
Owen, would you like to come to the podium up there and speak?
Oh, sure. We could do that. Let me
Put you on the
clear this
spot.
out of here.
Oh.
Put that down.
So for those who don't know, this is Owen Preventure from DerryCAM.
Chair, Council, Owen Preventure, the cable coordinator and director at DerryCAM. Thank you for the opportunity. Just want to share very briefly some good news on behalf of the team. We've been once again recognized regionally from not only New England but New York State, the whole, including the 5 boroughs, 4 times this year for regional recognition. So we've been recognized as the top 3 finalists in not only overall excellence, which is the category you want to kind of bring home. And that's in our budget category. So those are comparative, those are broken up divisionally by budget. So the next one is mixed budgets. So we compete with much higher budgets than ours and smaller budgets as well. And that is to show folks what the power of community media can do and the things that we do here in town and the services we provide. And that category is called This is Community Media. And again, that's across budgets, and we've been recognized in that as well. Also for our independent programming, we have a show hosted by Tom Donovan called All Things Recovery, dealing with the folks in the recovery world and issues they're facing, and they have been recognized as a finalist. And one I'm probably most excited about, last fall, around this time, we went out to J&F Farms with Morgan and Sarah, our junior correspondents that are middle school age, And they showed us, gave us a tour around J&F Farms in only the way that they can, which was very fun to be part of, and enlightening and educational for them, great experience for them. And I was fortunate to give their parents the news that they've been recognized as well. So certainly several hundred community media stations in the region, and it's nice to boost morale for the team and to show a little pride in our community. So it's a testament to the work that the team's doing and a testament to this community, frankly, and all the great things that happen in this town that we get to hold a mirror up to and shine a little light on and share it with the rest of the world. Thank you.
How long have you been in this current role?
I think 7 years.
7 years?
Maybe 8. Losing, busy, so I lose count, but it's been nice to keep this. We've kind of ramped up to this regional recognition, and it's been pretty consistent year over year. And we've got our eye on national awards, so.
Well, thank you for all your dedication. For those who don't know, DerryCAM is at pretty much all the events in town. You always see them around, and a lot of student involvement, which helps.
Absolutely.
It gives them a bright future as well, and
Definitely.
another career opportunity potentially. So
Absolutely. We have a track record of building careers. Folks, young emerging professionals come into our program as a member, whether they're an intern or just an interested member of the community, and they can come in and learn some skills. And we have some folks that are now in broadcasting industry as a result of their work at DerryCAM. So very proud to say that.
thank you very much. Anyone, any comments? Anyone? Questions?
Yeah. Congratulations to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Sorry, Mike.
No, it's okay. And I also want to express my congratulations. And, we have opportunities to pass along good news about our staff and any accolades. I think it's a great thing to pass along. We'll have some additional items at the next meeting on the 21st, I think, associated with the fire department. So, all right. So tonight, I've got a couple of items that I wanted to push through on the town administrator's report. I'll go over some general things, and then I'll have a brief presentation on CART that I think is really important for the council to take a look at and assess. So first of all, we want to talk about the fire station. As everybody can see, the fire station is very, very close to completion. We are looking at a substantial completion date on or around October 20th. And what that means is at that point, Derry Fire will be starting their internal move-in. I mean, everything is in great shape there. Carpeting's on the floor. You've got all the finishes in place. There's some punch list items that are being attended to. So we're working through those items with the contractor. But what will happen next is testing, communications, other things of that nature. Those will be very important to make sure that those are all in working order before we make that formal move from Central over to the new headquarters. I want to also put out there that there'll be probably 3 sets of opening ceremonies. One will be for fire department personnel and their retirees. There'll also be a larger ribbon cutting ceremony that the town council will be there for, and that'll be the one that'll probably have most of the press and the official. And then finally, a public grand opening, similar to what we did last weekend for the fire department, where anybody can come in, touch the trucks, look at the new facilities. So when those dates are ready to go, I will put those out as quickly as we know those, but I think everyone's really anticipating getting that. But those will all be in the month of November. And then finally, project budget. When it all settles out, we're going to make the bottom line for the project. It's going to be very, very tight, but we were able to value engineer a number of the different items. We will be at the budget, maybe slightly under, and then when that's all said and done, I'll get with Mark and we'll provide a final accounting just for transparency in the process, but we will be able to make that. So that's been a great accomplishment there. Turning on to a different project, the Rand Shepherd Water Project. As many of you have seen, there's work that'll be moving forward to stitch up Shenandoah Road. Next Thursday and Friday, there's going to be some significant work to do resurfacing out there. Basically, that trench that's been questioned over the course of the last couple of months is going to be milled out and filled with a more smooth surface now that some of the settlement has taken place. The crews now have also started to install water main at the intersection of Route 102 and Shenandoah Road, and they're going to continue to work in a eastbound fashion to continue the water main work throughout the upcoming months. Not sure about a winter shutdown yet. We'll have some additional information on that, but I think Shanita Road will get remarkably better over the next couple of weeks in terms of road conditions and traffic. And then finally, Exit 4A, as everybody can see, there's continuing utility work that's going on. You're seeing a lot of electrical aerial relocations going on, and also the gas company. A lot of work's being centered in the vicinity of the police station and the car wash. There's also a lot of work going on the bridge at this point. I do not have any additional information about the rail trail tunnel, but I do anticipate some things will be coming forward soon on that. And again, I'll share that as soon as I've got some specific information. So with that, I'm going to move over to the center dais here just so that I can go through our CART plan here. Okay, so tonight I wanted to go over some looming concerns or some questions we have to bring through to the town council about our CART service. So I provided the council with a staff report, and also just wanted to go through this very brief PowerPoint. And no action tonight. We're not looking for any votes, but just I'll be back on the 21st to confirm some funding concerns that we need to shore up a little bit here. So what is CART? It's the Cooperative Alliance for Regional Transportation. It provides on-demand transportation service for residents of 5 communities in a contract with Manchester Transit Authority. So the riders have the ability to make door-to-door reservations to facilities for a nominal fare. And it is heavily subsidized by government state grants that are passed down by the federal government. And I'll talk about that a little bit, but it's a vital lifeline to so those that need to go to medical appointments, shopping, work, social activities. Many of the riders are unable to drive, or they just feel more secure taking this service. So this is what I wanted to talk a little bit about. Right now, or formerly, the service had provided regular service hours, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30 p.m. Process is you can make an advance reservation, and one of, I think it's 5 vans that MTA owns would go to that particular property. Where are you going? If it's within the boundaries, obviously they don't take you to Springfield, Mass. or Lewiston, Maine, or anything like that. But there's a limitation as far as the radius. But any place within the town of Derry, it does service those people from door to door. Most recently, in the last 2 years, CART was able to enter into extended service hours, which added Monday through Fridays from 4:30 to 7:30. It was for a while out to 9:30, but that's been scaled back. And also Saturdays from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. So this service is of the last 2 years, and I'll share some statistics about the success of that. But that was brought in because there were some additional grant funds that were passed down through the state, and it was thought to be kind of a pilot program. So now we're at that point where some of those grants have evaporated, and now it's kind of back on the town to decide if it wants to keep the extended hours or go back to the standard service. But this is, a couple of other things financially here. So the town of Derry provides a share based on a formula, and so in the fiscal 26 budget, it's $48,800 for just the regular service. The extended service was started in FY24 with a grant, but that grant had expired as of 6/30/25. So I discovered that there was some documents that MTA had sent along to us that, for whatever reason, we didn't take action on to add $18,000 so that we could cover the depleted grant that no longer exists. Now, MTA is working within the parameters of their reserves that they have, so it's not as if things are going to drastically change. But here's kind of where this is at. They've indicated that if we're not able to contribute an additional $18,000, that extended service would cease or they're looking for a decision by 10/27/25. So what I'm thinking is we have the ability, and I'll map this out for the council, within our existing budget, some things within different areas of administration that we would be able to continue to fund this extended service through 6/30/26. That'll give us an opportunity to go through and do some rider surveys and analyze the data. So I think this is important to put out there. So if you notice, they were able to furnish fiscal 22 and fiscal 23 ridership, and roughly under the normal regular service, we're seeing somewhere just over 5,000 trips per year for just Derry residents. So this is just Derry, not all the other communities. When you look at fiscal 24, that was the start of the extended service. So it started somewhat slow, where we only had 22, 34 riders in the first couple of months. But the sum of both the Derry on Demand and then obviously the extended service basically matched up with what the totals were in the previous 2 fiscal years. And then if you look at fiscal 25, the extended service has got more ridership. We're up to nearly 1,000 on that count for the 12 months. But it has actually dropped some of the regular time. So, we're not quite sure what that is all about. But the point I'm trying to kind of show here is that we're seeing more use of the extended, but on its total, it's about the same that it has been, which is probably a good thing in terms of that. So this is to talk specifically about the extended ridership. So you can see we asked them for purposes of the trips, and then also the days that these trips have come in. And then they run the gambit, but shopping seems to be the most important because it's an opportunity to go to Shaw's, Walmart, maybe the Market Basket in Londonderry. Those trips are really important for those that utilize that service. There is a component where we're not sure personal what exactly that means. If it's a visit to some place, is it shopping and they just didn't want to reveal that? Is it medical? So that I think has to be vetted out a little bit. But I think one other area that I wanted to point out was the number of trips that are shown under the work category, especially Monday through Friday. There is a component that this service is supporting activities for employment. And I think that is, something that we need to consider as we go out long-term in this. But from a day-to-day distribution, Saturday is by far, under this extended service, the most utilized. It's about 50% of the utilization in the calendar year 2025. So we have some of that data. We have asked CART to do a more detailed dive into the numbers and the win. And again, we're looking for ways that for all of the service, how we can better manage this, maybe look at the hours of ridership. Is there a way to pick specific locations that would make sense? So right now, this is just the picture for the extended service, which is kind of what's in our situation at this point. So I also want to touch on future economic issues that will come to us as we approach the FY27 budget. So as I mentioned earlier, we have in our budget $48,000 for our $48,800 for our regular service costs. MTA has indicated because of the grant funding shortage and lack thereof, it looks to be that they would want their full share of $123,767 as we go into the fiscal 27 budget. So this would increase our budget to the town cost by $75,000 just to keep the regular service going. So we're not even talking about extended. We have some time to solve this, but we are going to look to have some direction, I think, from town council, from our stakeholders, to try to figure out A, what we can afford, and B, what that ridership should look like. So again, Bev Donovan's been assisting us in trying to get some answers to that, because I do think it's important that obviously we support the ridership, but also it has to come at an economical price point. So I wanted to lay out here action items. So tonight, just initial questions, if any of the counselors have questions of me that I can either take with me and respond back, or I can respond on the spot. We should do that tonight, no vote. October 21st, we look at endorsing the continuance of extended service through June 30th, 2026, and I'll put together a staff report in the affirmative with a resolution that just says we'll cover that within the FY26 budget. Then we're going to be putting out that MTA will be putting out the survey of ridership, so we'll have a little bit better idea of some of the specifics that we can drill down into. And then in the winter, I'm suggesting we look at a workshop to really see what that future could look like, because, MTA does a great job with this service, but again, maybe there's some other ways to look at this. I think one thing we've got to be somewhat careful about is looking to lean on some of the other volunteer-based organizations. A lot of times they've expressed that they are stretched pretty thin themselves. So it may not be something we would want to look at for the full service to be changed out to, something that's radically different than what we do. So I think there's some options at the table that we should take a look at, but I think for purposes of where we are today, my recommendation is that we look to continue the extended service, give us a chance to evaluate what we want to do in the future, and then we can solve that going into the FY27 budget. So with that, if anybody has any questions or statements, I'd certainly be happy to field those.
Councilor Webb.
Just a quick question. As you put together your poll and evaluating what the riderships are, what I'd like to see is an addition to what's listed here as being the number of people that are disabled or wheelchair bound that are using that service.
Yeah, we can see if there's a way without violating a HIPAA requirement to
Right.
see what that looks like, sure.
And yeah, that's the biggest thing right now. I have other concerns, but they're better left for winter.
Good? No?
Yeah. This is all well and good. No problem with the 18K to keep it going till 6/30/26. And I like the direction you're taking, but I'd also like you to consider going outside the box for next year's budget and seeing what other services are available, because, we should do our due diligence and see if there are any other opportunities here, whether it's to, take approach where there's 2 or 3 options that can fill it, or maybe there's another vendor out here that can do similar things. So I'd like to ask that, you and the staff look outside of just, okay, we're gonna go, up another 80,000 and take care of this, right? We owe it to the citizens, both the seniors and the taxpayers, number one, to make sure they still have the services, but number 2, we have to make sure it's cost effective. So there may be other ways to do some of these things. So let's come back with a, full scope of things for next year's budget.
Okay, I concur, thank you.
Councilor Spencer.
Yeah, I'm going to echo that. I think I want to just make sure that the taxpayers here, we don't want this to go away. This service isn't going anywhere, and if at the end of the day, $75,000 is what we're going to have to talk about, we'll have to have that discussion. So I think I want just to be clear that we want to figure out how to keep this. We just want to do our due diligence from a fiscally responsible perspective to make sure if there is another option out there that we explore that. So I 100% agree with Councilor McEachern that we want to kind of look at what the options are, but knowing that the only option is keeping some sort of this service, keeping this service going.
Councilor Webb.
He just triggered a thought. One option I think we also need to keep in mind is doing it ourselves as a town department. It may not be feasible, but we don't know until we get the data. Mm-hmm. I believe the town of Atkinson does that.
I think there's a number of things that are on the table
Yeah.
that we can take and explore and see what the models are elsewhere.
Partnerships and with other organizations or whatever. Councilors, any questions?
No?
So what is the official criteria to utilize the service?
There's no boundaries on it. As long as you're able to pay a fare, there's no restrictions on that. So if you able-bodied, otherwise 5 years old, 85 years old, there's no restrictions on it.
Okay. And I know it's a HIPAA thing, but any of these residents who may be more vulnerable or at risk, do we know if any of them receive other services that, I know it's a privacy issue, but is any of that public information that we would have?
I suspect that you have some synergies between the needs of the cart riders and other services that are provided. How's that? Without saying too much on that, but I think you can make a reasonable connection, I think,
Hand in
between the
hand.
two groups, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Any other questions?
No, all set.
All right.
Thank you.
And do you have more to your report?
I'm good.
You good? Okay. All right, moving along, public hearing. We have item 25-91, Resolution 2025-051, to authorize the town to apply, receive, and expend a grant from the Stanton Foundation in support of a police canine program. Chief Fioli.
Good evening, Council. I appeared this evening to gain acceptance of a grant from the Stanton Foundation for a second canine patrol program. You may recall in FY26 you added in our budget the provision to add an officer for a second canine patrol program. We began that process back in the spring, and we sent Officer Andrew Kennedy and his canine partner Freddie to the Boston Canine Academy. They graduated in July. We outfitted a cruiser and we built a kennel at the officer's home. And this grant will pay for all of those things in three different chunks of money. It's $32,000 for the acquisition of the dog and $1,100 a week for training, which equals $15,400. And then finally, for the last bit of training, another $4,500 while the dog goes to either drug school or EOD school. That's yet to be decided. The dog has to mature a little bit before that decision is made. But he is out on the road now, and he's patrolling, so we have effectively 16 hours of coverage with canine patrols now in the town of Derry. Happy to answer any questions.
Public hearing, right? So we need a motion to open the public hearing?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second open public hearing. Counsel Webb.
Yes.
Counsel Spencer.
Yes.
Counsel Chase.
Yes.
Counsel Mouget.
Yes.
Counsel McEachern.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Public hearing is now open. If you wish to speak in this matter, please come up, state your name and address, and Owen will look online.
Anybody?
Mr. Chair, seeing none, rise.
Mr. Chairman, seeing no one rise here, I'm going to make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second to close. Counsel Webb.
Yes.
Counsel Spencer.
Yes.
Counsel Chase.
Yes.
Counsel Mouget.
Yes.
Counsel McEachern.
Yes.
And Chair votes yes. Public hearing is now closed. Counsel Spencer, you have a question or comment?
Well, no, I'm just obviously excited. We have more dogs in town, but no, I don't have anything.
I saw you chomping at the bit.
If no one has a question, I can, Jack's got
Counsel
his
Webb.
hand up, so I-
Just a quick question. I don't know if it's covered in the grant or what the status is. What's the status of getting, I guess I'll call it CP, canine protective equipment, vests and so forth for the dogs?
We will be ordering. He's got to fill out a little bit. He's not quite mature yet, and we have to wait until the dog fills out and gains maximum weight, if you will, before we can order that, but that'll be coming.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I'm happy to read the resolution, Resolution 2025-051, to authorize the town to apply, receive, expend a grant from the Stanton Foundation in support of the police canine program, where Section 5.1 of the town charter designates the town council as the governing and legislative body of the town, and whereas Section 915 of the charter authorizes the council to accept grant funding, and whereas the town council approved the second police canine program in FY26 budget, and whereas the Stanton Foundation provides grants to the New Hampshire municipalities in support and creation of a new police canine unit, and whereas in the best interest of the town to seek outside funding to assist with the costs associated with the canine program, now therefore be resolved in council that the town administrator is hereby authorized to apply for, accept, expend up to $51,900 in grant funds from the Stanton Foundation to assist in the creation of the DerryCAM program. Resolution shall take effect immediately upon its passage.
Second.
Excuse me.
Motion and a second. Counsel Webb.
Yes.
Counsel Spencer.
Yes.
Counsel Mouget. Counsel Chase, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Counsel Mouget.
Yes.
Counsel McEachern.
Yes.
And Chair votes yes. 6-0. Thank you, Chief.
I thought you were going to play with the order there for a
I
second.
was gonna, and then
You confused me.
yeah. Moving along, new business, 25-99, Resolution 2025-055, to direct the tax collector not to execute certain tax deeds. Our tax collector, Stacy Bellevue.
Yes, we gotta read.
Good evening.
Good evening. So I am here tonight to request deed waivers for the 22 parcels that are listed before you, and the various reasons are listed there as well. That is a revised list as of 5 o'clock tonight, and it shows how much we work with the property owners and the residents, and so I'm just looking to have those deed waiver approvals this evening.
Is there any questions?
Very straightforward.
Anyone?
And I'll bet you need the resolution read then. if
Yes,
there's no
please.
questions. Okay. Resolution 2025-055 to direct the tax collector not to execute certain tax deeds. Whereas Section 5.1 of the Town Charter establishes the Town Council as the legislative and governing body of the town, and whereas RSA 80:76 sets forth the procedures for conveying tax deeded properties to the town, and whereas pursuant to RSA 80:76 2 and 2A, the governing body may refuse to accept a deed on certain properties whenever it is in the judgment, acceptance, and ownership of those properties would be subject the municipality to undesirable obligations or liability risks, and whereas the town has identified properties eligible for tax deed, however, acceptance of the ownership would not be in the town's best interest, now therefore be resolved that the tax collector is hereby directed not to execute a tax deed as set forth in the attached list pursuant to RSA 80:76-3. The council may revisit this decision at any time and may later direct the tax collector to issue deed of the properties subject to this directive. Resolution shall take effect immediately upon passage.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Council Webb?
Yes.
Spencer?
Yes.
Council Chase?
Yes.
Council Mojay?
Yes.
Council McEachern?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion carries 6-0. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilor comments, liaison reports. Council Spencer?
Just a few things. Just congratulations again to Mr. Mills on joining us, and to our DerryCAM group, as always, doing a great job. And then liaison report, just wanted to report that I am serving as the town council representative on the task force with the school board that they announced at their meeting to investigate, look at what to do with the Derry Village School and that property there. And just to update, we haven't made any decisions. We had one meeting, actually two meetings. Their first meeting, we took a tour of the school last week and set our meeting schedule and kind of how we're going to run things. And we'll be meeting weekly. The hope is to meet weekly through until just before Thanksgiving, and hopefully have some idea of what they can plan to move forward with from there. So looking forward to working with that group.
Council Webb?
I attended the Derry Housing Redevelopment Authority monthly meeting a few weeks ago. They're not a town department. They're an independent agency funded through HUD. Just a couple pieces of information I thought was pertinent. One was HUD has come up with a fiscal year 2026 fair market rent documentation system for the Lawrence, Mass, New Hampshire metro area, which includes Derry. And I won't read the 2025 numbers, but to give you an idea, what they consider fair market rents are for an efficiency. Basically, a studio is $1,565. For a one-bedroom, $1,730. For a two-bedroom, $2,270. For a three-bedroom, $2,722. And for a four-bedroom, $3,006. And that's for federal fiscal year 26, which just began. Derry Housing Authority administers 12 units locally in apartment buildings off of Peabody Road, Peabody Annex. And they also manage Section 8 housing vouchers. They used to have 108. It's being slowly decreased. They actually have one voucher that they're in the process of assigning for a total of 96 vouchers. They also administer what are called 6 portable vouchers, which are vouchers from other housing authorities from other parts of the state that their tenant is then managed by Derry because they found housing in Derry. So they manage those vouchers, but those vouchers do not count to the maximum that the town of Derry is assigned, which right now is 96. the housing priorities that they use in looking at these vouchers, and there's a multi-year waiting list, is verified victims of domestic violence. So it's not just somebody says, hey, I've been a victim. It's somebody who has an advocate, who there's documentary evidence that they are not only a victim of domestic violence, but have been rendered homeless because of that. The next tier is veterans, and the final tier is people who are Derry residents or are full-time employed in the town of Derry. And they still have to meet income requirements and all that for Section 8 housing. It's a very good program, and a lot of people don't realize, because it has a bad connotation, it's heavily managed. People, they have to make income qualifications. There's inspections involved. There's regular contact with the clients. So it's a managed program. Thank you. That's it.
Council Spencer.
Sorry, you made me think of one more thing that I had meant to put on here. I just wanted to welcome some new folks to town. So Family Promise opened their new facility on Peabody Road, and I was there this morning for a meeting, and they have their first residents there. So I would like to welcome those new residents to Derry if they haven't been here before, and congratulate them on getting started and rebuilding. I'm very excited that we have that in town, and it sounds like they're going to be full very quickly, and that's a great thing for us.
Yep. Anyone else? Chase.
So the planning board has been moving steadily through both the gateway rezoning and also bringing our ordinances and land control development regulations in line with the new statutes passed down by the legislature. We've had our first and second readings. We've gotten our feedback from legal counsel, and we will be holding our public hearings, and then it should be coming to the council shortly.
Thank you, Chase. So I'll piggyback on what you said, Family Promise. Great organization. We're very lucky to have them here in the community. They're going to be very beneficial to a lot of families with all the other organizations that we have. So welcome to them. On September 20th, we had the Derry Fest, which was well attended, and the weather was great. It was a beautiful day. The VFW and the American Legion did a 24-hour vigil down at McGregor Park at the monuments for the POW and MIAs, and then they had a ceremony at 12 o'clock. There was a proclamation read, and so thank you to all our veterans out there, the POWs and MIAs, that some of those didn't make it home. So having said that, anything else?
I'll make a motion to adjourn, Mr. Chair.
Second.
All right, motion and second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.